Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. As usual, I'm here on time and Steve isn't. So we might have to, I don't know. How was your weekend, everybody? Tell us where you're watching from. Whoa.
Trick or treat! Trick or treat!
Steve?
Trick or treat!
Steve?
Trick or treat!
What kind of costume is that?
I'm a zebra ghost.
A zebra ghost?
That's really tall.
Zebra ghost. Or like a tablecloth ghost. That was like...
Hi guys, how you doing?
Happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Monday! Hope you got a little pre-Halloween treat there. It's already October, guys. How crazy is that? How many of you guys are ready for Halloween? Who has their Halloween candy? Are you guys trick-or-treating?
I've eaten my first batch of Halloween candy, so I'm going to have to get my second batch now.
Remember, that's for the kids.
But, I mean, I have to test it out.
But if you have to get another bag, you got to test that bag out too.
Ha! Now you've got my system down.
What was I thinking? It's going to be a weird COVID Halloween, isn't it? Not really sure what's going to be happening with it this year. How are you guys doing? Everybody okay? Man. Went back to check. Our very first one of these was March 20th.
Holy moly.
Right?
Doesn't that seem like a good 2 years ago?
Oh, at least 7 months. Oh, wait. Yeah, something like that. So, incredible. And thank you guys so much for tuning in again. It's awesome to see you. When Wendy and I get to go back on at the end of these and check all the questions and type in our comments to you guys and our hellos, it's always so much fun to see the names we recognize. And some new names as well. So thank you guys who are tuning in for the first time all the time. And don't be afraid to say hi to us on there. We'll shout back at you. It's always fun. Did you see what we're talking about today? Did you read the little blurb? Pre-Halloween fun. That's where the costume came from Trick or Treat. And today's special guests. Hope you guys like the mask. I'm still working on it. It likes to move. So you'll be seeing me adjust it, but at least you can see what's going on. You like the mask?
Can see your pearly whites.
Yay! Give me a thumbs up if you like the mask. Say, model it.
Selfie!
But again, so much thank you for your feedback, guys. We are always listening to you. We are trying to make sure what we can do helps you guys as well. So thank you for the feedback. Last week you had some really nice comments on the mask. So we're glad that it's working for you. We still need to work on it a little bit. Like I said, it's still moving a lot. So I need one that's a little bit longer, one that's a little bit deeper, so it doesn't move so much. So I apologize for having to move it down every once in a while, but at least now you know.
Well, I know how to solve that problem, Steve.
What's
Instead
that?
of getting a new mask, maybe we can just get you a smaller face. I mean, gotta think outside the box sometimes, Steve.
That's way outside the box. Not the handsomest man, but it's mine. Are you guys ready to talk about some creepy crawlies? It is Halloween month, and we brought some of our creepy crawly friends. A couple you've met, one or two you haven't met before. We've been holding on to these guys for so long. We keep saying, we're going to do them now? Nope, we're going to wait. How about now? Nope, we're going to wait. So we're excited to introduce you to one of our animal ambassadors that we can share with you towards the end of today's program. When I say creepy crawlies, it's kind of an unfortunate name.
It really is.
But we use it all the time.
Yeah.
Right? It's our creepy crawly show. It's our creepy crawly this, creepy crawly that. When really only half of that is true.
Yeah, because some of these guys don't really crawl.
No, and none of them are creepy.
None of them are creepy in my book.
None of them are creepy. Some of them are weird. Some of them are different. Some of them can be a little scary.
They're misunderstood, Steve.
Well, I think that's the big phrase, isn't it?
Yep.
They're not creepies. They're misunderstoodies. Is that a real word?
It should be.
Let's make it now.
If
They're
it isn't.
misunderstoodies, crawlies, and flyies, and walkies. That's enough.
Yeah, let's get on with the program.
So, some of our live animals we're going to share with you, you've met before. A lot of them are decomposers. They're breaking down a lot of the forest energy that's already fallen to the ground. They're eating that dead and decaying products on the ground. Remember we talked about decomposers? It seems like a millennia ago. And you met the cockroaches? Remember that? So that's what we're going to share with you a little bit again today. If you haven't seen them, you're in for a treat. Because with Wendy behind the camera, oh, we didn't say that. We do have Wendy behind the camera.
Good morning.
And I'm Steve. So we're going to get some close-up shots of some really cool animals. But before we do that, I want to share with you a picture. We're going to shoot a live one in a second, but you can kind of get the idea of what's going on here. And this is the adult. This is the adult. That's a juvenile. These are giant cave cockroaches from the Caribbean.
Did you say giant?
I did.
Now, what size are we talking here, Steve?
These guys are not life size. They're actually smaller than life size. You want to meet one?
Okay.
Want to meet one?
Okay.
Here, I'll show you one.
And we would like to mention we do have friends that are answering questions
Here's
for
one.
us.
This one I want to meet. I want to introduce to you this one.
That one,
It's very alive.
that doesn't look like it is.
Isn't this cool?
That was from this morning, wasn't it?
It was. It exactly was. When I went to go get our live animals for today, oops, look at that. Still working. This was happening in our cave cockroach colony. Say that 3 times fast. See this down here?
It looks like he unzipped himself.
Well, that's a great way of thinking about it, Wendy. That's a fantastic way of
Or
thinking about
like
it.
you're popping out of your dress after dinner. You
That's
ate
what he's
too
doing.
much.
This is a juvenile body, and he's molting out of it. He's coming out of his body. Because that's the less molt
So cool.
into being an adult. So he went from this.
This is the juvenile.
This is the juvenile. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
That's the juvenile. And this is the adult.
Ooh, we getting out a live one.
Well,
Gotta put gloves on.
why are you not putting gloves on? Somebody help me there. Somebody tell our guests live. Because I know you know. Not you, Wendy. You guests.
I see some of the names of our regulars that
Oh,
are
yeah?
watching, so I'm sure they
So
will let
help
us
you folks
know.
understand. Why am I putting gloves on?
It's not why you think.
Nope.
Most of us would say, oh God, you're gonna touch something that's creepy. You're gonna put gloves on to protect yourself.
Nope. We put gloves on to protect the animals from us. It's all about the zoo's care and wellness programs. I might have lotion on my hands, some shampoo, I might have salt, I might have chlorine if I wash my hands.
I saw you eat a granola bar before we came.
I don't want them to think what's on my fingers.
Yeah.
So protect the animals from us, things that might be on our fingers. So, this is an adult giant cave cockroach. Wendy's showing you the young one there and some pictures of the adults.
And how they molt, they just walk right out of their body.
Yep.
I'm thankful that we don't do that because that would be
Could
creepy.
you imagine?
You just leave that on the bathroom floor
And
for your
that's
mom.
that's what it would have looked like eventually. This is as it's all the way molted, all the way out.
And then they develop their color.
Exactly. As they dry.
They dry
this is
and...
very wet. And they look like this.
Hey, buddy. He's actually kind of cute.
This is the giant cave cockroach. What's going to help you, Wendy, get a shot?
Just stay right there.
Just stay right here.
We can see his face underneath that.
Underneath. Great
Yeah.
point. It's underneath that shield on top. They're an insect. So how many legs do they have? That's a gimme for a lot of you guys. If this is an insect, how many legs does the insect have? Do you guys say 6? I'm sure somebody said 6. And I'm sure that our guests that are answering questions out there said 6. I can see a couple of them. Hi, answering question, people. we have at least Leslie and Kathy out there. We are in the RTI building again. The building is in Kid Zone proper. It's where the Kid Zone play space is.
We did have a virtual guest here, a virtual friend, ask if they bite.
Do they bite? All right. Unfair answer, guys. Very unfair answer. If it has a mouth, it can bite. Imagine how it gets its food. It has to bite the food, right? He's got to chew through the food. Is he going to bite you and me? No. Mouth parts are really small.
He's moving and grooving.
He is. But the mouth parts are just effective enough so he can get the food that he needs. This guy is eating that dead and decaying stuff. We told you he's a giant cave cockroach. What other animal lives in the caves, guys? What mammal lives in the caves and flies?
And if you guys have been listening to me, you guys know what my favorite animal is.
Oh my goodness.
It's this animal.
The flying mammal.
The only one.
These guys live in association with bats. And bats produce guano, or feces, that the giant cave cockroach eats. What? Not my favorite meal.
Yeah, if I had to choose, guano would not be on my list.
I don't think it don't even make the list at all.
No, no.
So no fecal matter from the giant cave cockroach.
But they also eat other things too.
Yeah, they can eat dead and decaying meats. If an animal were to die, they could eat that. If plants get washed in, they'll eat that. But they're not going out hunting.
And
Look at those antennae.
one of our friends on here also asked if this one that you're holding can fly.
Can fly, yes. Choose to fly, not very often. They're too big and heavy. They spend most of their time scurrying around on the cave floor. You can imagine the cave dark and dank, bats flying overhead, and the ground is moving as well. That moving ground, a lot of time, those detritivores, those decomposers, animals eating that material on the ground.
So they fill a pretty important role, because if we didn't have anybody eating that stuff in the cave...
Just fill up.
Yeah.
And pretty soon the bats can't survive. The snakes that might live in there can't survive. The other animals in there can't survive. People can't go in there and use them. Because remember, for a long time, caves were where we got out of the weather. We were secure and safe in those caves. And the giant cave cockroach and all of its cohorts, all of its buddies, so to speak, that live in those same spaces, taking care of that. So let's put this one back. Oh, here's my shot. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, you can really see their legs and the antenna very well on that shot.
Sensing his environment with that antenna.
They're very cool. Let's look again while you're putting them away. We've got
I love that shot.
the juvenile to the adult.
Yeah, nice. Very cool. So another species of cockroach that you guys are probably very familiar with. A lot of you have seen these guys. A lot of you have actually, I bet somebody who has held or touched the Madagascar hissing cockroach.
Throw us a heart if you've touched one somewhere.
Leslie, you don't count. Kathy, I know you have too. Those are two other people answering questions. You two don't count. I know you've done it. So, has any of our guests? Give us, let's see. What's one of the other symbols you can do? A heart? There's a heart, a care, a like.
Yeah. We don't want to use the others.
No, we don't use the others. That's not what it's all about, right? It's all about loving these critters. So we've seen some symbols come up. Have some of you guys had the chance to do that? It's so neat to think, whoa, I'm holding this giant insect.
We got a couple pop up.
Oh, fun. So the Madagascar hissing cockroach is another one of those large species of cockroaches. The neat thing with the hissing cockroach is I couldn't tell you if that was a male or female giant cave cockroach, but I can tell you for 100% sure this is a female Madagascar hissing cockroach.
And again, their face is underneath. It's so cool to see that.
They're all protected by that exoskeleton, skeleton on the outside of their body. And this is a female because she's missing little bumps on top of her head, on top of the shield.
You can kind of see where they would be.
They would be right up here. And I have a male to show you as well, just to get the difference. All those little segments in there, but again, just 6 legs as an insect would have. Let's see if Wendy can get a shot. Can you guys see those little holes on the side of the body?
Let me zoom in for you.
Here comes a fancy science word.
Fancy science word alert.
Those are spiracles. Spiracles. And that's how they get their name hissing cockroach. They actually push air out of those spiracles. And it makes a hissing sound. Will this female hiss? No. They're really used to being out and about with people. So they don't feel in danger. They don't feel threatened. But when they do feel threatened, they can make that hissing sound. Let's say a lemur, because they live in Madagascar as well. Let's say a lemur grabs one or goes to bite one, uncovers a rock, and there's the cockroach. The cockroach makes a hissing noise. Can you guys make that hissing noise, those of you that are a little bit younger? And if you're a little older and you want to have fun because it's a Monday morning, go ahead and do it too.
I know a few people that make that noise before they get coffee.
Push that air out and make that hissing sound. If you're a predator, that sound may give you just a moment to stop and go, whoa, what was that? And all this guy needs is a chance to get away, to run under a log, run under a rock. Just enough time to escape the predator.
So that's their main defense mechanism?
It's a defense mechanism. Great science phrase. Yep, it's a defense mechanism. And those spiracles, those holes on the side of the body, is where the air is pushed out of.
So for the cave cockroach, would its ability to fly away be its sort of first reaction to being scared?
Yeah. Or for those guys, they're so flat and so small, so well camouflaged, just hide.
Squeeze into cracks and hide.
Get away so you can't see me. Camouflage for this guy too.
But a hissing noise, I mean, we're all conditioned. If we hear a hiss, we think of venomous snake. We think of flat tire. We think of bad things.
That's awesome. Well, let me get you a male out so you can see.
Yeah.
Now remember, guys, look at the top of that shield on top of his head, on top of her head. No bumps. And the male has 2 little bumps. And if you think about it, you know why already without even thinking. Because you know about goats, you know about sheep, you know about deer. What do they use their bumps on top of their head for? They use them to fight, right? In battles for dominance. Can you see his 2 little bumps? Can you see his 2 little bumps? If they get on a leaf or a branch, another male is there, they'll fight, they'll push against each other. And the one that knocks the other off, the one that's stronger, has the ability to maintain that space, maybe a chance to breed with a female. Another animal who has a really important job out there, very similar to the cave cockroach, although this guy isn't doing it in a cave. He's out and about on the forests and jungles of Madagascar, eating that dead and decaying material that's fallen to the ground. Recycling those nutrients. Recycling all that energy from the forest. Sometimes they're called like the garbage men, but although our garbage men are doing that really important job of picking up all of our waste, these guys are literally recycling that energy, recycling that food. You and I may not call it food, but it's food for them.
Somebody is asking where their eyes are. So if you can prop your hand up, yeah. Underneath on their face. Let's see if I can get it to focus here.
Just come back just a little bit, maybe.
Stay right there. You can see right there, antenna, eyes, mouth parts, right there. It's on that little flat, they have like a flat face. So it's all underneath. You would think it'd be on top, but it's underneath.
So yeah, that entire head, everything is under there.
Underneath. It's hard to, keeps moving, there we go. Can see his little head under there. It's nice and flat, he's got it right to the ground. He keeps tasting your glove.
What's in there? So that exoskeleton, the outside skeleton, protects them. It also keeps in all the moisture, keeps in all the internal organs. The female's on top there. He's like, I'm going to get out now. Well, you know.
Steve's putting them in their little travel containers that we take them back and forth to their homes in.
Look at this lady. Those little tiny hooks on their feet so they can climb.
You see those right there? Holy moly, you can see them on the camera right now. So they can climb glass, any sort of flat surface.
Very flat surface. Our next critter, I'm going to change gloves for this one because they're really sensitive. The next animal actually cleans itself with its mouth parts. So this is a just-in-case moment.
These are one of my favorite animals to do programs with.
They're awesome. Chelsea's over there behind the camera too. She's kind of hanging out with us today. Chelsea, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Steve. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
You might know Chelsea if you have tuned in to any of our summer camps this summer. Chelsea was there, and also our zoo classrooms.
Yep.
She is there, and she is learning how to do Facebook Lives in case, heaven forbid, one of us gets a day off or goes on vacation.
Sweet. So yeah, Chelsea, very welcome for sure to you having me here today. Our next critter, you guys remember Leslie? You guys remember Leslie? I've talked to Leslie. Leslie's done some of his programs too. Leslie and Chelsea worked together some programs. Leslie helped me with the HERP program when Wendy did get a half a day off the other day. Leslie and I rescued one of these.
You did?
We did. Well, not exactly one of these.
Well, yeah.
But an animal like this here at the zoo the other day. We got him up, picked her up, took him outside, let her go.
Nice.
Go team.
So this one is actually found in Africa, though.
This one is Africa.
So you found North American species.
Because there's a lot of species of millipede.
This one's one of my favorites.
This is a giant African millipede.
Dum dum dum.
Look at that.
She's a little scared.
I kind of hope she doesn't uncurl. It doesn't uncurl because they're long, and my hands may not be long enough. They can get up to 7 inches long, guys.
I love to watch them walk.
It almost looks like a sine wave.
It does. Waves.
People. Maybe I'll put it down. Think you can get a shot of her walking on the surface over there?
We could.
On the table?
On that table, it might be hard because there's black. Maybe on this table right here.
On that one? Chelsea, would you mind getting a couple things off that table real quick? Thanks for being here today. Look at that movement. Let's see what... Thank you, Chelsea. Great job.
Get the full effect.
Watch these legs. She's going to run away. Look at that wave go down the body. Look at that wave go.
Man, that's so cool.
Those little antennae on the top of the head. Checking out the surface, seeing what's going on. You can't go too far. Let's turn you around a little bit.
Funny thing is, this is like a 5-foot table, and she covered it real fast.
There you go. Come on down this way, and then we'll pick you up again.
All right, everybody, count our legs. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, oh, no, I lose.
You lose. The millipede is round. The centipede is flat. Millipede is round. Centipede is flat. Millipede has many more legs than a centipede, but not 1,000 or 1,000,000. You want to come onto my hand? Let's see if you'll just come on walking onto my hand. There you go. Say, no, I don't like you, Steve.
No.
But in the legs is one of the ways you can tell the difference between a cockroach or a millipede and a centipede. It's not the total number. I just love watching that movement.
It's mesmerizing, I'm not gonna lie.
The number comes from, there you go. How about that? The difference comes from the number per segment. So can you show them a body segment there, Miss Wendy?
Yeah.
So the body segments of the millipede have 2 sets of legs or 4 total legs. Centipedes only have 2 legs or 1 set of legs.
Here, let's move back over here.
Thank you. This is becoming a thing. Another decomposer, another detritivore, another animal eating that dead decomposing material, even here in the United States. They have a similar role. Again, this is a giant African millipede. Very flexible, as you can see. But nothing creepy about these guys. I mean, you've just got up close with 2 of the largest species of cockroach in the world and one of the largest species of millipede in the world. I get that they're different, guys. I understand that. But when you begin to think about those roles, I mean, this guy eats that dead and decaying material just like the Madagascar does. And when they defecate, when they poop, they're essentially pooping out dirt. They're pooping out nutrient-filled feces, fecal matter. Frass is what they call it.
And I think it's interesting that if people really think about maybe especially animals or insects that they are afraid of or they think are gross, it's usually because they don't understand them. And once you understand them, you can respect them a little more, and maybe you don't have to be their best friend.
No.
But you can let them do their job out in the environment. Because the more we understand things, the less fearful we can be of them.
And that's really what we try to do some of these programs for. Is just to let you see, let you have an experience that might be a little bit different. Here's a creepy crawly. Oh wait.
That doesn't crawl, and
this is the creepy crawly.
Okay.
Sorry.
Why is that so big?
Why it's so big? I want you to see some details, and then I want you to realize that it's life size.
That is life size?
Yeah.
Oh. See, this is something I need to understand more of, because if this was like on my windshield,
Yes.
I would panic.
That's a giant.
I'm not going to lie.
This, by the way, is also life size. But
That's huge.
we're talking creepy crawlies.
Yeah.
That's life size, guys. That's my hand.
Whew, that is
That's
a
my hand.
big spider.
The giant huntsman.
Whew.
But another animal has a really important job to do. They're controlling a lot of pest populations, using their web, using their hunting skills, whatever it is. And then this, Chelsea broke this.
Did you break that, Chelsea?
I did no such thing.
That is broken. Look at it. It's broken.
Look how shattered that is.
Oh, wait.
What?
It's a spider web. Between 2 panes of plexiglass.
Oh.
We blamed her for breaking
Blame
it.
me, Steve.
It's
Well,
Monday.
It looks like you broke it, Chelsea.
It does look like broken
But
glass.
this is an image. It's an etching of a real spider web.
That's
See
really
it? Put a
neat.
spider web down, etched around it. Get the idea of that. How many of you have gone through the forest, walked through one of these, and did ninja?
Yeah, that's the closest I'll ever get to knowing karate.
Get out of this.
Yeah.
Go.
Face full of
This
spider
one's
web.
quite as bad. You can't do that with this one. Whew. All right. You want to meet a spider?
So I was going to say, I feel like you're leading up to some sort of many-legged animal.
Do you want to meet a spider?
I don't know. That's a yes, I don't know. Okay, yes. Okay, yes,
Put my
yes.
hand right there. I'm going to say yes for you.
Yes, I do. I actually like these guys.
I love.
Now, I'm not going to lie. If a huntsman was in my living room, I might cry.
Kathy and Leslie, is this one of your favorites too?
We
have
have
Gwen today.
some of our people answering questions are right outside on the front porch here. Oh,
It's kind of cool to have the whole family come together right now.
I know.
Have Kathy and Leslie over there.
Oh, that's a
Chelsea
handful.
behind,
That's a handful.
and Gwen right here.
It's Gwen. Gwen is one of our rock stars.
Gwen is a rock star. Gwen is a Chilean rose-haired tarantula.
She's beautiful.
She really is. Her color is stunning. She does have a rosy appearance to her. She's covered in those hairs. Those hairs are a defense mechanism and a sensory tool. Using those hairs, she can feel the wind changing. If she can feel a breeze, maybe when a prey item is coming by. In the hairs on the back of her side of her, she can actually kick those off. And they might get into the respiratory system, the breathing system, or the eyes of a predator or of danger. And it'd be like getting a piece of fiberglass or maybe an eyelash in your eyes. But it's a lot more than just one. All those hairs can be kicked or flicked off. Fancy science word for those of you that like them.
Alert! Alert!
Urticating hairs. Urticating hairs. I bet you a dime to a dollar somebody is spelling that for our friends.
We have an opportunity to look at the eye complex right now,
that is
so we
crazy.
don't want to miss that.
Look how many eyes. Do you think this spider, this Chilean rose-haired tarantula, does she spin a web to catch her food? She does spin a web, but does she spin a web to catch her food?
Like a hanging web you see on your front porch or in the
exactly.
woods. That kind of web.
After seeing those eyes, do you think that's what she does? Or might she be an active hunter?
Yeah, she looks a little big to hang from a web. That'd be like you and I trying to be trapeze artists.
Nice. Not happening. There's a spinneret. She showed her spinneret.
Yeah, this is what they lay their web down with.
Isn't that neat? Right back here.
They're like two little...
So she can
fingers.
lay a web. She'll put the web in her nest.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Her fangs are long, maybe a quarter of an inch long. Not quite as long as your fingernail, maybe, but close. And through those fangs, she injects a venom. So she's venomous, not poisonous. We've learned that difference a couple times. Venom is injected poison. You have to eat it. So she is venomous. And yes, she still has her fangs and her venom. That's how she catches and kills her prey, even at the zoo. When she gets fed crickets, for example. She catches them and uses those fangs to inject the venom. And the venom begins to break down all of their internal guts.
Ooh, kind of like a milkshake.
Exactly. It's a cricket smoothie.
I don't think Cookout's going to have that flavor
Not a flavor
anytime
coming
soon.
So yeah, they turns in the insides into mush, into a smoothie, and she slurps that up.
Mmm.
Really important, guys, because if you made her as big as you and me, if Gwen was as big as you and me, her throat would be about the size of a drinking straw.
Really? I never thought of it in those terms.
Yep.
Wow.
Her throat just disappears. Not very big. So
Yeah.
even if she made her big, her throat is still very small. So she can't eat solid food. She has to drink her food.
So,
and being able to do that is what happens.
so another question we always get, we might as well answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Will she bite you? Now, Gwen won't because she's used to being handled. But if she was like a wild tarantula you picked up in the wild, would it bite you?
She sure could.
She would kick those hairs
She'd
first.
kick the hairs.
She'd try to run
fangs.
away
And
second.
then she'd have those fangs. She'd rear up. She'd let you know stay away. She'd
Yeah.
show her fangs.
Which usually most people that are ridiculously even close to being smart would say, oh, okay, sorry,
This is
dude.
not a good idea.
I shouldn't do this. But if she bites you and injects the venom, then she can't eat for a while.
Right. Don't
Because
waste that
they
venom.
have to remake that venom. So that's sort of like the last ditch
Same thing
defense.
as some of our local snakes.
Yeah. They don't want to bite you.
Nope. So that venom is precious. It's breaking down the food on the inside.
And this, if she bit you, you wouldn't die.
Nope, I was just going to say, the bite of the tarantula is bad.
Like a bee
You
sting?
get a 1/4-inch long fang.
Little
Two
more-
of them going into your arm.
So like more than a bee sting?
So the pain comes from the fang.
Yeah.
The venom, they say a bee sting and a half.
Bee sting, okay.
That's what I've always heard.
So unless you're allergic to it, like bees,
Right.
then that's the only way it would be life-threatening.
Yep.
And you don't really know you're allergic to tarantula
Until you-
venom until it happens. She's so pretty. I just think she's so pretty.
I do too. We have other species here. We'll introduce you to those guys down the road. We have other species of tarantula we can handle too, but it was Gwen's turn today.
What do you mean it was Gwen's turn?
We rotate the tarantulas. We don't want to bring the same animal out all the time. And we don't want to, let's say that Gwen's my favorite, I don't want to grab Gwen all the time because that's going to be overuse. So we have other tarantulas that we can rotate throughout day to day. So each tarantula has their day or two to program.
So are you telling me that the tarantulas get days off?
Yes, they do.
Like weekends? That's awesome.
I think she does get a weekend off.
That's awesome. So we even our animal care is even for our invertebrates.
Exactly. She's a fun one to share. If you've been following social media, I can pull this up real quick.
Oh yeah, this video that we posted on social media, I think about a week ago, it was polarizing. You either loved it or it grossed you out.
Ready? You focus on. Tell me when you're ready.
Yep, you're good.
Ready? We had baby tarantulas born at the zoo.
You would have to smoke a lot of cigars for that. How many babies?
Could have been up to 300. It was awesome, though, because that's one of the goals, right? So a lot of the animal ambassadors are just now kind of coming into that breeding program. We talked about polar bears. We've talked about it with chimpanzees and gorillas. We talked about it with seals and sea lions. But the animal ambassadors are just now getting into those breeding programs. So we can breed the animals under captive in human care. If we can breed them like that, then we can share them with other facilities that are looking to program with those animals. You don't be harvesting them from the wild. Nobody wants to do that anymore. So it's awesome that the animal ambassador populations are now becoming part of that whole system as well. That species survival plan. Not quite as extensive as you would say for a polar bear, but trying to keep those populations going in our world. Wendy, you have a question?
We had someone ask, is that 300 babies from one spider?
From one spider.
Yes.
Yes. We have a couple shout outs
They're
over here.
yeah, we have 2 shout outs today.
We do. A couple special folks.
We had a special little girl leave us some artwork when she came
So
with her
neat.
family to the zoo, and it's pop-up too.
And then we had the Gertz come. Gertz. We had Amelia and Arabella show up. And I'm so sorry I missed you guys.
Sorry, guys.
Wendy was off that day, so I'm sorry that we missed you. We wanted to give you guys a hello. Thank you so much for watching. But check this out. I had to write down the names. But look how cute this is. From Lily.
From Lily H.
Lily H, you're awesome.
It's a pop-up red wolf. She said, thank you for helping endangered animals and plants from going extinct. And she left that at our front desk here at the zoo this weekend, and it melted our hearts.
Those kind of little things, especially for the zookeepers, because they don't get those kind of things very often. And for us in education, it's awesome that you guys share those with us from time to time. Whew.
Well, we do have an activity today.
We do?
Yeah, I did
I
it.
thought you said we were done.
No, I got an activity, but I need you to close your eyes. Because our activity is edible today, Steve.
Right, we just talked about...
edible.
We talked about millipede poop.
Edible,
No,
Steve.
We talked about the cockroaches eat.
Look,
What?
you said you would do anything. You said I'm game for anything.
I lied to you.
Well, too late. You're on camera. You got to close your eyes.
Okay, now
All
what
right.
do you do?
All right, digital guess.
Chelsea.
It's edible.
Chelsea.
Edible tarantulas.
Wait, what?
He's got to eat.
Wait a minute.
Put your
Did
hands
you just
out.
say edible tarantula?
Put your hands out.
I don't have gloves on.
There's a platter.
I don't have gloves on.
It's not alive, I promise.
So I go down first?
Yes, put them together. There you go. You have to eat edible tarantulas.
No way. No way. Leslie might try it. Kathy might try it.
All right.
Beth would probably even try them.
I bet there's kids watching that would eat these
No
tarantulas.
way. Kids do not eat tarantulas. I've had cricket before.
Okay, open your eyes.
Oh, are you kidding me? Seriously?
Yeah, we made a healthy snack
Those aren't.
of tarantulas and a maybe not so healthy snack of tarantulas. And we have the write-up right there. So today our activity is an edible activity that you guys can do at home, adult or child.
What?
And I'm sure they're putting a link. So they are edible tarantula treats. And it tells you how to make them.
That was no fun.
You started to
Edible
sweat a
tarantula.
little bit.
Yeah. Eating tarantulas?
There are places where you can buy tarantulas in a can. I watched it on an episode of Chopped.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
And they're actually edible a lot of places.
Yeah.
I've heard that their legs taste like crab and their body tastes like peanut butter.
Really? I'm going to take your word for it, so I'll buy you one for Christmas.
No,
I mean,
that's
one of
okay.
those tarantulas is made out of peanut butter, right?
Yes, the healthy one has peanut butter and raisins or any kind of nut butter. You could use cream cheese.
Interesting.
And then, of course, if you don't want healthy, you can use a sandwich cookie.
Oh, look, we forgot to say this real quick. We'll just share this. They do shed their skin, by the way. They molt. This is a tarantula molt.
Don't eat that.
Don't eat that. You can still see the hairs all covered it. So it's kind of neat to see that, yeah, they do. They shed their skin like a spider does, like a snake does.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Whew. All right. You guys have fun today?
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Happy pre-Halloween. It's coming.
We've got some really cool stuff towards the end of the month. It's all Halloween themed, so it'll be
Good stuff
exciting.
coming up for sure. Wednesday is a taped version.
Oh, it's a new behind the scenes of an animal we've already seen a few times.
Behind the scenes?
Yeah, to a place where we can actually see the people from the other opposite end of the habitat.
We have to trip you out for that one. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It's a pack your trunk kind of episode.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
A little bit of a detailed thing they're going heading in.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, that's awesome. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. I do hope you had fun. It's different, it's fun, and it's a different view, different way to look at some of our misunderstoodies crawlies instead of creepy crawlies. How's that?
I like it.
Misunderstoody crawlies.
Plus, we got to make up a new word.
We did, and that's always a great time. So from your Zoo Adventures team, Wendy behind the camera, Steve in front, you got to meet Chelsea today. You had Leslie and Kathy answering questions. I know that this time because I can see them.
Nikki, I think Nikki too was answering
Nikki was
questions.
answering questions too? So awesome, had the whole team out and about. We're looking forward to seeing you at the zoo. Remember, still under time tickets, still order them early. Don't forget to do that. If you want to come, make sure you order those tickets early to be able to come to the North Carolina Zoo. We can't wait to see you again for Zoo Adventures, Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. Y'all stay safe. We'll see you again. Bye now.